Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com.
I'm Bob. Happy Friday.
Welcome back to our Top 5 Fridays ski industry news videos. We've got another comparison wall behind us.
This is a good one, and there's even a tie-in to one of the edits of the week. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh my gosh, there really is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I thought that was nice to see.
Totally. What is it? QST Echo?
Yep.
That's the tie-in?
That's the tie-in. That's the outstanding one. There might be more, but that one certainly sticks out.
I can't think of any others.
No. Close.
Maybe that
behind you. There's a close one, different width but same ski.
What?
The line
Oh, sure.
for a different edit.
Well, and then a different edit, there might be some 106 shots.
Oh no, I
And-
didn't see it. Either
Well,
way.
anyways, yeah, hope everyone has been enjoying the comparison series. They're really fun to put together, and yeah, this is always one of my favorites. I feel like I say that about every single category.
I think you do.
I think I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one's fun.
Yep.
I mean, I really enjoy skiing on skis in this category, the kind of mid 100 free ride world.
Yeah, especially if you get them in the right conditions and terrain.
yeah.
Like, this is like the equivalent to being like on that mid 80s all mountain on a firm snow day, but
Right.
with more snow.
Yeah. So look out for this one next week. And then with that said, we can just get right into the news. Also happening next week, Bob, the first topic of the week is the Snowbound Expo.
Yep.
So don't expect a Top 5 Fridays video next week because Bob and I and
Half the company.
not quite, but like 20 of us,
Yep.
I think, or close to 20 of us will be down in Boston for the Snowbound Expo. So obviously it's kind of based on where you live, whether you can attend or not. But I'd say if you're, I don't know, within an hour of the Boston area, consider taking a trip.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what some of the other kind of vendors will be offering, but I know that there'll be some kind of pseudo-exclusive deals that you can get through us through the show.
Yeah.
So should be really cool. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you can find a link to tickets just on the homepage to our website, and I'll try and drop it in the description of this video as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually kind of the big kickoff to the season in the Northeast in terms of people getting excited for sure.
Yep. I plan to do some rollerblading.
I did not know that, but I look forward to it.
There's a skate to ski section at the expo.
Yep.
If there's rollerblading to be had, I'm probably going to partake.
I mean, even just as a mode of transportation around that huge area.
Like, that raises another question. Should I bring my own rollerblades?
Now that we're talking about it, I might bring mine.
Aren't you glad I've raised this as an option?
Yep.
Yeah, no, there's all sorts of fun stuff, and there's a ton of really cool speakers. I think Sean White's going to be joining us in our booth for a little bit.
Cool.
Because I think we're kind of sharing a little bit. We're sharing like a fifth of our space with White Space, I think. So, yeah, hope to see some of you or many of you there. I'm looking forward to it.
Totally.
It will feel like a nice kickoff party
for
the season. And then, like, at least for me, the following weekend, I know I'm scheduled to ski in Killington. So it truly is, like, the start.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. You wouldn't know it now. It's like 74 degrees outside.
Well, great segue into the second topic of the week here. We have our first ski area opening in the United States. Kind of a funny conversation surrounding this. Like, when you think of the first place in the United States to open, what do you think of first?
Well, like to open, I usually think of Arapahoe.
Same with me.
Yeah.
That was the example. I thought the best example is like, yeah, of course A-Basin opens first.
Yeah.
Like, I've skied there in October many, many times. But at least in the past 3 years, it has not been A-Basin. So in the 21-22 season, it was Wild Mountain, Minnesota, and Trollhagen, Wisconsin. Last year, it was Andes Tower Hills in Minnesota. Great name.
Sure is.
And then this year, the award goes to Ski Ward Ski Area in Shrewsbury, Mass.
As someone who grew up skiing in Massachusetts, I've never heard of this place before in my life.
Yeah, small little area, and basically the way that they did it is by using a Latitude 90 snowmaking machine, which we've actually talked about here on Top 5 Fridays before. Basically, the snow is physically made inside of like a refrigerated unit, and then it's blown from that unit onto the skiing surface.
Yeah.
So,
what a world.
What a world we live in. I think tough to scale.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest issue with with this style snowmaking right now is that, like, sure, you can make a small patch of snow, but if you were to try and open Arapahoe Basin with a Latitude 90 snowmaking machine, I don't know that would work very efficiently.
Maybe 200 of them?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I assume then it's like not cost effective.
Right. And after that, then it just snows in Colorado and you're skiing on snow anyway.
Right. It would be really silly for A-Basin to do that. But you never know.
I mean, good for them for being innovative.
Glimpse into the future, perhaps. And then third topic of the week, there's a little bit of a rift between the FIS organization and Protect Our Winters. So Protect Our Winters, this is an interesting situation.
It's like high drama.
Very high drama, a lot of finger pointing.
Yeah.
So Protect Our Winters, they shared photos of organizers using snow from the Matterhorn Glacier to prepare for upcoming races in Zermatt. Now, FIS kind of clapped back and said, those images are wildly misleading. They're not even from this year, and that's a completely different glacier.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be doing that. Can't be posting 4-year-old pictures of somewhere else.
I agree.
Claiming that it's that thing.
Now, Protect Our Winters then replied by kind of pressuring the FIS to change their schedule and to stop fighting climate change, while also sharing more photos, this time 100% accurate, showing 2 excavators digging into the Theodol Glacier for the Zermatt races.
Yeah. So they've been doing it, but they just used the wrong picture.
Yeah.
I'm just
so
surprised.
They called them out with the wrong photo. Yeah. FIS got defensive, and then they were like, well, okay, here's the right photo.
I'm just surprised that these 2 organizations aren't in much more cahoots.
Yeah.
It seems like they're, Protect Our Winters isn't like saying end ski racing.
Right, it's literally saying Protect Our Winters.
Right.
Like you would think they would partner.
Yeah, you'd think that they'd want to be involved in this process.
I agree.
Not just trying to, it seems like they're trying to shut it down.
At least these early season races. And I do think that's the goal.
Yeah, and we've talked about that before. It's just like having a shift of like a month.
Well, it happens. I feel like it happens every year, and at least as long as we've been doing Top 5 Fridays, we have the same exact conversation every fall, where we get the scheduled FIS events for the season, and then half of them get canceled, and it seems to be the norm.
Yeah, and I can't imagine they can put that snow back in the glacier the same way it came out. They don't.
That's a great question.
They don't reverse the process at the end.
Could they? I suppose they could. I'm sure it would, it's still hurting the glacier.
Right.
But I don't see, they probably don't because they've made their money.
Right. Maybe if they promise to do that, it would
that
soften,
would help.
Protect Our Winters.
I think that's a perfectly good idea, Bob.
Yeah. It seems like everything's always capable of being done with an offset.
Sure.
Of some kind.
Yeah. Or can they what's the carbon offset? Can they reach what am I looking for? Neutrality, carbon emissions.
Carbon neutrality.
Neutrality.
Yeah.
somehow.
I don't know.
Am I way off? I think so.
Can they bring up some of those snowmaking machines and leave them on the glacier for a month after the race and replenish?
The Latitude 90.
The Latitude 90. Get a bunch of those up there.
Just stick them on the glacier.
There's always a solution.
What do you say sometimes? No one tries anything
No one tries anything anymore. They got to get 200 of those Latitude 90 machines up there and rebuild the glacier.
Why wouldn't they just use the snowmakers to make snow onto the race course instead of taking snow from the glacier, using that snow for the race course, and then making snow back onto the glacier? I think you can cut out a process there.
Yeah.
The glacier middleman.
There's probably a better solution than just social media finger pointing.
Yeah, I agree. And I think you were spot on with, like, it feels like these organizations should get along and benefit each other.
Right. They both want winter.
Yeah. Everyone wants winter.
Lots of it.
Yep.
So
we're all on the same page.
Yep.
More winter, please. Actually, just better winter.
I like my seasons.
I take that back. Yeah, just like a clearly defined winter with no January thaw.
Or multiple
That would
thaws.
be great. Multiple December, January, early February thaws. Anyways, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Probably the most controversial of all the top 5 topics this week. Did you happen to catch this 4th topic, Bob?
This is pretty controversial, too.
This one's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So a man has been fined $75,000 for clear-cutting state forest here in Vermont. So basically what was happening is he was clear-cutting land, or not even really, I don't think clear-cutting is the correct term. I could be wrong there. I didn't see any photos.
It seemed more of like gratuitous thinning.
That's what I thought, too. So we'll call it gratuitous thinning behind his home in Westfield, Vermont, with the goal of clearing it out for a ski run, like a backcountry ski run behind his house, which, like,
awesome.
Don't we all want that? He ended up cutting over 800 trees on state land as he basically just went a little too far, which I can understand.
Yeah, you get excited and you can see where you're going and you just kind of you keep the saw running for a little longer.
Yep. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
I did not, that wasn't meant to be a pun, because anyways. Yeah, I could totally see that happening. Exactly. You're out there, you're cutting some trees down, all of a sudden you're like spotting something over there, like that'd be a fun little drop right there. I think I'll just go like whack that tree and then it'll be done. And then you get over there and you're like, well, now that I've taken these down, I might as well clean out this section so I can make that right footer to get over here to hit this new drop I've cleared out. And so anyways, he's been fined $75,000 for cutting down 839 trees total. Luckily for him, his insurance will pay it as part of a settlement that was finalized this week. But the story is a little bit more interesting than it might appear. So I assume all of these things are still trees. Like, where does the tree definition, like, when?
I don't know.
When does like a...
Is a sapling a tree?
Yeah, when does it become a tree?
I don't know. Like if you just pull out the tiny little thing, the first little maple thing that pulls out.
Right.
Like is
that a tree?
The same thing as an 80-year-old maple?
Anyways, out of the 839 trees, 358 had stems no wider than a finger.
Like that's a sapling.
Yeah.
That's very new growth.
But you can have a tall sapling.
A few years old.
Yep. 453 were under 6 inches, but a 6-inch tree is pretty big. Even a 5-inch diameter tree is that's a tree.
Those are the ones that you really got to clear out.
For
good tree skiing.
Well, and also for like the health of the forest.
Right.
Like you don't want just like a ton of trees that size all clustered together because it's not great for the trees. There was one 22-inch tree that happened to be dead and also on his property. But that 22-inch tree was a big part of the fine.
And I always learn that there's a dead tree is a living tree. That even if it's not still sprouting leaves, that other things are part of that ecosystem.
The ecosystem of that tree.
Of the tree.
Yeah.
The tree until it's like rotten into the ground.
Excellent
Like
point.
that is still a living piece of the forest.
Excellent point. Yeah. And then the last thing is the actual boundaries of his property haven't been marked since the 1960s. So there's just like a massive amount of gray areas.
Yeah.
But they clearly wanted to kind of make an example of him, and I would say effectively so.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to get to ski it and if it's going to end up being worth it in the end. It's like, well,
I think he'll definitely get to ski
settlement
it at this point because it's state land.
Yeah.
So like,
and like that area is good.
it.
That's pretty snowy area of Vermont.
Totally.
Like that Hazen's Notch area.
Yeah.
Like there's some good snow in there.
It's probably his insurance company is really getting the short end of the deal.
Yeah, probably.
But anyways, I thought that was interesting and a fun way to end the news topics this week. Lastly, we have our edits, so you probably all already know what they are because Bob gave it away with skis.
Oh, well.
I would be impressed if somebody knew what all three were just based on like vaguely pointing at the wall.
Yeah, I think the third one's the more of the mystery.
Yeah. So this one was probably pretty obvious. First up is Cody Townsend, the 50 Comstock. It seemed like everyone loved this one. I really like the ones that tell more of a story. This one felt like it had really good storytelling vibes to it.
I also like it when they are very admittedly like, this is bad skiing.
Yeah.
You know, like this is objectively unpleasant.
Yep.
From a skiing perspective.
Yep. And then you were kind of pointing to the Blade Optic over here in reference to Wet Machine, which is the Line Skis team in Revelstoke. And then lastly, I was referring to that ARV 106 in reference to XL from Tanner Hall, which not safe for work or kids.
There's bad language.
NSFW/K.
Yep.
Yeah. So just be aware of that. It's a bit raw, which I suppose is what you expect from Tanner Hall.
Right.
So that's it. One more day of golf here in Vermont.
And then they're going to button it up.
And then they shut everything down.
Yeah.
Actually, 2 more days of golf, but I'm not going to play when it's 40-something on Sunday. And then we're in ski season. So, yeah, really exciting around here. Hope everyone's been enjoying the comparison videos. Hope to see many of you at Snowbound. And hope you have a fantastic weekend.
Bye.